Being liked is not the same as being respected. Let me say that again. Being liked is not the same as being respected. You can spend your entire life making people comfortable, giving them what they want, saying yes when you want to say no, and hiding every part of yourself that might disappoint them. And they may like you, but they will never truly know you, because the person they like is not you. It is the version of you that you created to avoid rejection. The agreeable version. The available version. The version who never complains, never asks for too much, never creates conflict, and never forces anyone else to feel uncomfortable. You call it kindness. You call it being understanding. You call it keeping the peace. But much of the time, it is fear. Fear that people will leave. Fear that they will judge you. Fear that they will become angry. Fear that the moment you stop being useful, easy, and convenient, you will stop being loved. And that fear is quietly controlling your entire life. Every day, you make decisions based on how other people might react. You accept invitations you do not want. You take on work that is not yours. You apologize when you have done nothing wrong. You answer messages immediately because silence makes you feel guilty. You stay in conversations that drain you. You tolerate disrespect because you do not want to appear difficult. You explain your boundaries until they no longer sound like boundaries. You abandon your own needs to protect people from temporary disappointment. Then, when no one is watching, you feel exhausted. You feel invisible. You feel angry at people who never forced you to say yes. And somewhere deep inside, you begin to realize the truth. You are not living your life. You are managing everyone else's experience of you. But here is what emotionally strong people understand. You cannot build a peaceful life while making everyone else's approval your responsibility. You cannot become confident while repeatedly betraying your own decisions. You cannot earn respect by proving that you have no limits. And you cannot discover who you are while constantly asking other people who they need you to be. This is not about becoming selfish. This is not about becoming cold. This is not about refusing to help people or caring only about yourself. This is about learning the difference between kindness and self-abandonment. It is about helping because you choose to help, not because guilt forced you. It is about saying yes with honesty and saying no without hatred. It is about allowing other people to have feelings without making their feelings your emergency. It is about taking back ownership of your time, your energy, your voice, and your life. Because the moment you stop trying to be liked by everyone, something powerful happens. You begin to hear yourself again. You begin to recognize what you want. You begin to trust your decisions. You stop performing. You stop negotiating your worth. You stop asking permission to exist as a complete human being. By the time you finish this audiobook, you will understand why you became a people pleaser, how approval seeking has been shaping your choices, and what you must do to break the pattern. You will learn how to set boundaries without becoming cruel, how to say no without writing an essay, how to survive someone else's disappointment, how to recognize manipulation disguised as need, how to stop over-explaining yourself, and how to build the kind of self-respect that no amount of external approval can replace. This is the beginning of a different life, a life where you can still be generous without being controlled, where you can still love people without losing yourself. where you can disappoint someone and remain a good person. Chapter 1. The Hidden Cost of Being Easy to Like. Most people have no idea how expensive people-pleasing really is. They think the cost is small. One uncomfortable conversation avoided. One extra favor completed. One opinion kept private. One boundary delayed. One more yes when they wanted to say no. But people-pleasing does not damage your life through one dramatic decision. It damages your life through accumulation, through hundreds of small betrayals that slowly teach you that your needs come last. Imagine that a coworker asks you to finish part of their project. You already have too much work. You know accepting will create stress. But before you can think clearly, your mind starts calculating the social risk. What if they think you are unhelpful? What if they complain about you? What if saying no makes the team uncomfortable? So you smile and say, "Of course." You stay late. You cancel your plans. You complete the work. Your coworker thanks you for a moment and moves on. But something inside you does not move on. You feel resentment. You feel used. You begin judging them for asking, even though you never gave them an honest answer. The same pattern happens in relationships. Your partner wants to do something you do not want to do. You pretend it is fine. You tell yourself that it is not worth creating conflict. You agree. Then you spend the entire evening withdrawn, irritated, and quietly hoping they notice your sacrifice. They do not. Now you feel unappreciated. But they never had the opportunity to respect your real preference because you never expressed it. People-pleasing creates invisible contracts. You do something you do not want to do. Then you expect the other person to understand the sacrifice you never communicated. You expect gratitude. You expect loyalty. You expect them to do the same for you. When they do not, you feel betrayed. But the contract existed only in your mind. This is one reason people-pleasers often appear calm while carrying enormous amounts of hidden anger. They rarely express their needs directly. Instead, they give, wait, hope, and resent. They believe their generosity should automatically teach people how to treat them. But unspoken expectations do not create healthy relationships. They create confusion. The professional cost is equally serious. When you are afraid to disagree, people stop seeing you as someone with judgment. When you accept every task, people stop recognizing that your time has value. When you avoid difficult conversations, small problems become permanent patterns. You may believe that being agreeable protects your reputation. But constant agreement can make you appear uncertain, passive, and easy to overlook. Leaders are not trusted because they make everyone comfortable. They are trusted because they can make clear decisions when comfort and truth move in different directions. The financial cost can be enormous. People-pleasers hesitate to negotiate. They accept unfair prices. They avoid asking for raises. They remain in underpaid positions because advocating for themselves feels aggressive. They give away time, expertise, attention, and labor because charging appropriately makes them fear rejection. They confuse being easy to work with and being easy to exploit. Then there is the cost to your health. Every unnecessary yes adds another obligation. Every hidden opinion adds tension. Every unresolved resentment stays inside your body. You live in a constant state of social monitoring. Was that person upset? Did my message sound rude? Should I apologize? Did I disappoint them? Are they still thinking about what I said? This mental surveillance is exhausting. You are not only living your own life, you are attempting to live inside everyone else's mind at the same time. But perhaps the greatest cost is what people-pleasing does to your relationship with yourself. Every time you know what you want and refuse to honor it, you weaken self-trust. Every time you ignore your limits, you send yourself a message. Other people's comfort matters more than your truth. Every time you say yes while feeling no, you become less certain that your own words mean anything. This is why many people-pleasers struggle with confidence. They think confidence will arrive when more people approve of them. But confidence cannot grow in a person who repeatedly abandons their own decisions. Self-confidence is built through evidence. Evidence that you listen to yourself. Evidence that you protect what matters. Evidence that your no means no. Evidence that your yes is real. The painful truth is that people-pleasing does not guarantee love. It often creates relationships in which you are valued primarily for what you provide. The moment you stop providing it, those relationships begin to change. And that change can feel terrifying, but it also reveals something essential. Some people were connected to you. Others were connected to your lack of boundaries. You cannot discover the difference until you stop making access to you unlimited. Chapter 2. Why you became a people-pleaser. You were not born writing apology messages for having needs. You were not born believing that disagreement meant rejection. You were not born feeling guilty for resting. People-pleasing is learned. For many people, it begins as an intelligent survival strategy. Perhaps you grew up in a home where love felt conditional. You received warmth when you behaved correctly and distance when you did not.